Good afternoon, YouTube. Fat Cat Collections back at you with another Invicta watch review. And today I'll be talking about one that's one of the favorite Invicta watches in my collection. And this is one that I recently just purchased, and the price point right now on this watch is fantastic. So if you are an Invicta collector and you've thought about getting this watch, trust me, now is the time to pick it up. Now, I have not checked prices today, but I just picked mine up probably about 2-3 weeks ago, and I have to tell you, I've never seen it for this price point before. And the watch I want to talk about today is the Invicta Venom Hybrid watch. Let me go ahead and show it to you first, and I want to tell you a little bit about the watch, and then I'll show you I actually have the different watches that make up this watch. This is basically a compilation of several different Invicta watches. This watch basically is made from parts from 3 different other Invicta models, hence the name the Hybrid. And what they've done is they've combined parts from the Venom 2 watch, the Sub-Aqua Specialty watch, and the Sub-Aqua Noma 5 watch, and then basically the movement is around the Master Calendar, and it's one of my favorite movements. It's the only one I have, but it's just an awesome movement. So let me just show you the watch first. I'll tell you a little bit about it. I'm going to tell you a little bit about specs on it. We're not going to browbeat a lot of measurements. I'm going to tell you the main measurements. I'm not even going to talk so much about the actual measurements of the band today, because you can check out my other video, which there's a link in the upper right-hand corner under the card section, where you can go ahead and check out that video review, which is specifically only about this watch. But this one here is just, like I said, I wanted to show you the different models that actually produce this watch, that make this watch. So this is the watch right here. You can see from the side you have a kind of a case and cradle design. The band, you can see the case and cradle, a very aggressive chunky bezel. Then of course this really interesting pusher system, and then you can see the Master Calendar. So let me just break down the different watches that make up this watch, okay? So right here you have this bezel, okay? This bezel is the bezel from the Invicta Venom Hybrid, or I'm sorry, excuse me, the Invicta Venom 2 watch, okay, the second edition, where they have this, it's basically a very similar bezel to the original, but it's got this kind of chiseled out, carved out bezel on it. And it's just a very aggressive, chunky bezel. Now, I had this watch, and I made a video before I sold the watch, but unfortunately, you can still check out the video on the Venom 2 watch. It's done in all silver and yellow tone gold, the one that I had, but I just never wore it that much because I really started to get involved in the all gold, so I sold it, gave it a new home. But basically, this is the bezel from the Venom 2. And that's a hard watch to find right now because I think that this watch is just a little more popular. Not really sure. It just kind of depends on what you think of the band. They're both beautiful watches. Then, of course, you can see it has the Master Calendar, which you'll find made by Ronda. You'll find that in a lot of different Invicta models. The case is actually a case and cradle design, which is this is the exact same case and band from the Invicta Sub-Aqua Specialty. Okay, and then of course the last but not least, the other part of this watch is that's from another Invicta watch, is the pusher system, and this uses the pushers and the crown from the Invicta Sub-Aqua Noma 5. They've won many awards for this particular design, and it's just an absolutely breathtaking watch. This one gets me compliments all the time I wear it. I mean, they all do, but this one is just a breathtaking watch. Now, this watch, I have a good friend. I mean, I shouldn't say a good friend, but we've become close through Facebook, and we don't even live in the same state. And his name is Mandy Lyon. He's one of the pioneers of like death metal and that kind of sound. He's an awesome guy, and he saw my videos and he really appreciated the reviews. He said, brother, I stayed awake all night watching them. This is years ago, and he went ahead and picked this watch up. And when he bought this watch, it just came out, and he got it all silver, and he paid quite a bit of money for it, and it's one of his favorite watches, and he has watches by all different kind of high-end companies, and it's one of his go-tos. So it just tells you a lot about Invicta. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get something that you absolutely are going to love to have on your wrist. So what else about it? So let me go ahead and I'm going to show you the other watches that I have. Now, I don't have the Noma or the Venom 2 watch because I sold it, but you can definitely see the bezel, and you can find pictures online, and you'll see the difference between the bezel on the Venom 2 versus the Venom 1. I personally like the Venom 2 bezel more than the Venom 1. It just has a very aggressive, more of a chiseled out, carved out look. I hope they do more Venoms with this particular bezel, but they don't do a lot of Venom 2s for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but I'm sure using this bezel in this watch has really increased sales for this particular model. So let me go ahead and show you right now. Let's start with the pusher system, okay, because that's pretty cool. So what I have here is a Sub-Aqua Noma 5 done in all yellow gold. And you can see the pusher system is exactly the same thing. Okay, so that's where they got that from, Sub-Aqua Noma 5. Check out my video on this one too if you want to know more about this. A very, very classy watch. You can see the size comparison. The Venom 2 is quite a bit larger. I believe by 2 millimeters. I believe the Venom, the Venom Hybrid is a 52 millimeter. It's almost 53 compared to a 50 millimeter in the Noma 5. Let me go ahead and show you the pusher system on it. Basically, you have the pushers that actually extend and retract. So you turn this right here. You see that the pusher has extended, and as you turn it, it retracts. Now, this is not a sleeve doing that. The pusher is actually extending and retracting. Then you have this really interesting butterfly tab system, which these pop out. And, of course, you unscrew that and adjust your settings. Now, on a master calendar, in order for you to adjust your... Because on master calendar, it's going to be hard to kind of see, but what you have is this ring in the middle. You have 3 hands. You have you have 4 hands. You have your large chronograph second hand. Then, of course, you have your regular, minute and hour markers. Then, of course, you have this other hand, and I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of, this resolution is not really good, but it's right over, kind of pointed out to you. Right here, to a little red tip on it. Then you have this ring. That's your day of the month. So that hand also shows you a day of the month. And then behind here, you have your chronographs. And then all the way back here, this would be your normal second hand. All the way back here, you have your 2 wheels. And one is the day of the week, and the other one is the... Been a while since I looked at it. I actually got to take a peek. Is your month. Just an awesome design. In order to change those functions, you have 2 pins on the side. You push those, and that it makes the wheel spin. It's just really neat because you don't really have a lot of hands moving as far as the second hands. You have wheels, and it's a really interesting look. The next part is watch, and the main part is that the case is the exact same case and band from your Sub-Aqua Specialty. And you can see from the side here that they are the exact same case. It's a case and cradle design. Specialty is a 50 millimeter watch, but actually, no, I'm sorry. You can see size here. It's a 52 millimeter watch, but I believe that this Venom Hybrid is a little bit larger because the bezel is so large. It's a little bit larger. The bezel kind of overhangs the case a little bit. You see that case and cradle design where they actually have the case sandwiching the cradle actually sandwiching the case, and then this Sub-Aqua Specialty band, which is really intricate. It's a really nice looking band, many pieces in it. Just a breathtaking watch. I mean, it really is one that if you're an Invicta collector, you have to have in your collection. Now, I just want to show you again side by side. I'm just going to show it next to these share again, all yellow gold with a navy blue face. And you can see that pusher system. Very similar, but very different watches also. Then, of course, when you compare it to Sub-Aqua Specialty, you can see that case exactly the same. It's almost like they pretty much took your Sub-Aqua Specialty, threw the Venom bezel on it, and then changed out the pushers. And I hope they do more models like this because it really is interesting to have these different models where they combine things. I really hope that they do. My idea was to do a Grand Arsenal hybrid or a Sea Hunter hybrid, which just, I mean, you have to do something pretty chunky with it, but it's such a big watch. But I really hope they do something like that. A little bit more about it, basically, as far as the finish on this particular model. This one here is model number 16805. It's all done in a satin and brushed finish. On the band, you have the satin down the middle, and then you have brushed on the sides. The case is done in a brushed finish, and of course, your bezel is a combination of brushed and slight polishing on the middle ring, and you can see the face there is navy blue. They make this one in a silver with a rose tone bezel. My buddy has the one in the yellow tone bezel. If you want to check out that watch, if you're into maybe a silver watch or two-tone, I have a video on that one. Definitely check that out. They make it in a Jason Taylor black, and then in all stainless steel as well. They might even make one more model, but I'm not too sure offhand. I know those are the main ones that they make. So let me ahead and show you, without further ado, one of the main reasons why you guys watch my page, or my channel, is to show you what it looks like on the wrist. Now I'm about 5'7", 5'8", and I weigh about 170 pounds most time. Right now I'm down to probably about 160, 165. I've lost a little bit of weight. So my wrist is about a 7-inch wrist. So all these watches look really large on me. And I'll just give you a kind of once-over on what it looks like. Now, normally, lately I've been taking you into different rooms and showing you what it looks like on the wrist and their different lighting. I am going to be doing videos outside. I'm going to be doing repeat videos to show you what these watches look like out in the open as far as under natural lighting conditions. But today I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm not even going to take you into my other room there. I'm just going to show you what it looks like in this particular lighting scenario. Definitely check out, if you like this watch, definitely check out my other video where I show you a lot more wrist shots on this particular model. But again, an amazing watch to have in your collection, and that's what it looks like on my 7-inch wrist, a guy about 165, 160 pounds. Alright folks, well that was more of a quick one. I just wanted to kind of break down what makes this watch. If you like the channel, by all means subscribe. A lot more videos coming up, a lot more cologne reviews. And remember, find me on Facebook. There's a lot of different watches that you can discover. People have put on different bands that aren't even Invicta bands on watches that that Invicta watches don't come with metal bands. So you get a lot of really neat ideas. Definitely find me on Facebook, friend request me, I'll accept you. And if you like the channel, subscribe. And remember folks, keep on watching, and let me know if you have this watch and what you think about it. Alright folks, thanks again. Have a great day.